Hello guys, and this video is going to be a little bit unusual, a combination of my very personal emotions last night with the Russian failures last night. Because as I was hiding in the corridor during an air attack with drones on the streets of my city, we heard the information about Russian bombers ascending with missiles to target cities like mine, but 3 of them failed, and from different reasons, beginning with malfunctions and finishing with lightnings hitting this TU-160. This is God's will. If some of our allies are still in doubt, God is with Ukraine. But to tell you the truth, it also demonstrates the failures, serious failures within the Russian war machine. And it's not only about money, it's not only about their inability to get at least 1% more of Ukrainian land despite all the sacrifice of their army, but it is also about constantly failing technologies, air defense, aviation, and many more. Let's talk about that in the video, combined with my very personal emotions. My name is Anna, I'm from Ukraine, I'm in Ukraine, and if you want to see the defeat and demilitarization of Russia that has already started, subscribe, we discuss all of that on the channel. So let's begin with what I was doing last night. I spent a couple of hours in the corridor. You know this rule of 2 walls that are supposed to protect you in case of explosion. I would not like to check it, but that's the safest place in my home. And I was reading a book because it's difficult to scroll internet all the time, reading the updates. They began the attack pretty early, not at 2 a.m., but around midnight. And that's the time when I go to bed. So I didn't. And I stayed in the corridor listening to air defense working and reading the updates and reading the book. Give me your guesses. What could the book be about? I can tell you that is a non-fiction about one political leader. So anyway, I was sitting, I was listening, I was hearing the work of air defense. I was reading my application that kept saying about bombers ascending in Olenia, in Engels. And it is always a very bad sign because it means not just drones attacking us, but also missiles. And I will be honest with you, it's really difficult to intercept some of their missiles, especially if you live in a city like mine that is not strategic. We don't have any serious objects here. We are 80 kilometers to the European Union, and Ukraine does not have enough Patriot systems. And it's brutally unfair, but many countries want to keep their Patriot systems, though they are not at war. And Ukraine has like less than a dozen, taking into account that we are under constant attacks. I'm sure you understand how necessary they are. So many people simply sit and wait when they know that missiles are traveling our way. What is very difficult that applications often tell you that 2 Kinjal missiles traveling in that direction, the name of your city, be careful the next 2-3 minutes. And it's always difficult because what do you do during that 2-3 minutes ahead of you? It's a very emotional time, but yesterday they were talking about more and more of these bombers in the skies, that it can be the largest attack ever. And we were naturally worried, but not much happened. And after hours of work of our air defense against drones, I was able to return back and to sleep. Thumbs up for that, and please subscribe and share these videos to witness the strength of Ukraine and the collapse of the Russian Federation that has already started, and Putin's weakness was tremendously exposed in China. And today, in the reports of Russian vloggers, in the reports of some military channels, we read about serious problems and malfunctions that happened with Russian Tu-160s that were supposed to target Ukraine. The first one did not manage to target us, to shell us with missiles, because it faced some critical failures in its launcher part. And this malfunction led to the inability of that jet to shell Ukraine. Another one, and this is even more beautiful, and just imagine it all happened during one night. So when Donald Trump does not want to give us Patriot systems, does not want to sell us Patriot system, God protects Ukraine. So the second one was hit with a lightning. And it somehow damaged the cockpit, and it had to return back to Engels. And the third one, from unknown reasons, according to, once again, Russian military vloggers, was not able to ascend. And today they had one more accident with a civilian aircraft, Il-76, that did not manage to ascend or something like that. So during just one day, 3 military and 1 civilian Russian aircraft experienced severe malfunctions, unable to perform their tasks. Of course, this is great, and I'm a person that believes in God, so I do see some support and some protection. But this is also the exposed weakness of the Russian Federation. I have reported a lot about serious problems in their aviation, in their railroad logistics, but now we see problems even in the military aviation, not just spiderweb that destroys dozens of their critical cruise missile carriers, strategic, rare, expensive, but they actually fail to work because of maybe bad maintenance, traditional Russian negligence, and also they use them too much. They literally bomb us every night, and perhaps this is also bad for these evil instruments of war. So altogether, we witness that Russia is exhausting their gasoline crisis, their burning oil refineries, their failing air defense, their tremendous losses that they try to cover up with North Korean soldiers, but that ones do not demonstrate real success. During 1,000 days, they managed to get less than 1% of the Ukrainian territory. So all of that combined demonstrates us that Russia is weak. Right now, Russia seems to be a vassal of China. And now is not the time to appease them. Now is not the time to prize Putin with this end of his diplomatic isolation. The deadline that Trump gave him ended yesterday. And what do we see? I bet 2 more weeks. You know, we have to be very careful listening to what people say, because words matter. And that is why we have a new series on my new channel, Anna Danilchuk, where I speak more about language and war and the importance of words you use during these challenging times. Because by manipulating words, by distorting the truth, we can reach some very wrong consequences, different to what we want to achieve. So check this video and let me know what are your thoughts and maybe what other words you'd like to discuss with your new language teacher. And also give me your thoughts about this military parade in China, about Putin, Xi, and Kim Jong-un together, sending very strong messages to the West. And when I say the West, I mean Ukraine, I mean European Union, I mean the United States, countries that were always pro-freedom, pro-democracy, and I hope it will remain like that. At least we are fighting for this here in Ukraine and are doing it really well. Subscribe, share to demonstrate your solidarity with us. Remember to follow me on other social media, X, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, and we have an amazing Discord community. All the links in the description of this video. Let me know, will you be free this Saturday for our live conversation? Check the merch shop, lots of good items that work well as reminders and conversation starters about Ukraine, and we need that. And thank you so much for buying me coffees, becoming my patrons and sponsors of the channel. This means a lot, this gives more opportunities, I'm forever grateful for that. And thank you for being friends of mine and friends of Ukraine. United we stand. Slava Ukraini!